Welcome to Holding Space. Michael Zen is a visual producer and creative photographer using his imaginative visionary energy to channel Zen and hold space for spiritual and innovative discussion. Each episode creates a supportive, accepting, and open environment that allows exploration and expertise to come together with engaging and entertaining convergence. With guest and community all helping the shape of the way, Michael is grateful to be together to hold space. Now here is your host of Holding Space, Michael Zen.
Hello. Here I am, although a couple of minutes late. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. The guest is having some difficulties connecting, but I saw everybody was kind of hanging out in the waiting room, and I didn't want to keep you guys waiting, so I figured I could start the show, and if the guest can connect, we will get to meet her. Her name is Susan Grayson, and if she can't connect tonight, we will reschedule and have her back another time. But right now, Kelly is working with her to try to get her connected. So thank you, Kelly, so much for all of the amazing work you do here at the Sacred Spiral Network. Thank you, Sacred Spiral Network. You guys are actually the Sacred Spiral Network, right? You're not just tuned into the Sacred Spiral Network, you're a part of the Sacred Spiral Network. You are the Sacred Spiral Network. We are the Sacred Spiral Network. It's so cool to be a part of something that feels so good. I know I visit the shows very often, and it's always, I hate to use the word, but a love fest. It always seems to be everybody really supporting each other. If somebody comes into the chat, with an issue or sadness or whatever, everybody rallies and is there for each other. It's an amazing network. Yes, Sarah says amazing network. So let me say hello to all you folks out there. Me and my shadow is #live living alive. I love that. Tim Lorenz is out there. My brother from another mother, Karen Bonofiglio, is out there. Very nice to see you too. Presh is out there. Good to see you. Healing's Living. Look at this crowd we've got here. Lunar, Sunray. And I think I saw Arnie out there earlier. Arnie's here. Jennifer's here. Very, very good. Nice crowd. We got a party going. I was actually excited when Kelly sent me the link to Susan's website and her new book that she's got out, which is what we're going to talk about if she gets on. If she doesn't, I just thought it was cool because there was a picture of her holding up her book, and it just like, I don't know if it's just because we are all cosmically connected or interested, or even the Sacred Spiral logo there has the blue and the pink colors, like the galaxy, right? And the cover of her book looked a lot like this one, and shame on me for not actually having a proper copy. I've got a proof here, but You Are the Answer is my book, and look, it kind of matches the logo up there too. This is my new book that's been out for a little less than a month, and I'm excited about it. I've been getting pictures from people who were like, hey, look what arrived in the mail. And there's a picture of them holding the book. So thank you guys if you've picked this up. If you haven't, I'll tell you a little bit about it. It is very, very simple reading. It's probably more for a younger adult, but the content is it's about you. It's about you being your own answer to your own question. Why am I here? You're here to be you. And that's what the book talks about, like just clearly seeing that. I'll read the back. It says, somewhere between enlightenment and existential crisis, there is this book, a real-time experience about life, presence, and what it means to be wonderfully, weirdly human. Bite-sized nuggets for big-hearted souls, created by Michael Zinn with the help of ChatGPT. I hope this helps, is what it says. And this is it. This is kind of my first foray into putting out a book. I think it was just kind of me opening up the door to become the bigger me that I am, my higher self. I plan to do a bunch of these things. If you've been following along with some of the projects that I've been working on, I've got a couple of apps that are getting so close. I just need a little bit of development help to just get them over the finish line. They're working. They're beautiful. Wonder Words is a an app that allows you to create storybooks for children, movie posters for yourself. It started with the idea of an ABC book, right? The letter A, angels all around. I was going to do a spiritual ABC book, angels all around. Brilliant babies bouncing. Every letter would have a page like that. And I created an app that actually will do that based on you enter your child's favorite thing, whether it's dinosaurs or cars or whatever it might be, and then you enter. You can upload a picture of your child, and then and then you pick the art style, and then it will generate an ABC book for your child based on what they love, right? So it's like if I love the movie Cars, it's all about cars. If I love Disney princesses, it's all about Disney princesses, and it's personalized to the child. So I'm excited about that. It does look like my guest was able to get in. She's in the back room now. So let me actually start the show. I did not do my three breaths, so let me go grab Sage here so we can do the three breaths together and get the show started. All right, here she is. Everybody's one of my favorite co-stars, co-hosts, Sage, my singing bowl. So you guys know what comes next. We're gonna do the three breaths. We're gonna do three breaths together. So we're gonna breathe in through the nose. We're gonna hold it at the top for just a second or so, and then we're gonna release. And here's the important thing about all of it: intention, right? We breathe all day long. We don't think about it. It keeps us alive. It's great. Breathing is life, but connecting to breath intentionally is what I like to start my show with. I like to clear the space intentionally, set up the space to have a great hour together and focus on my breath for three breaths, and it gives me a little buzz. If you guys are ready here, we'll do it together. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold it up at the top. And then release it and feel it. Feel your shoulders sink down and relax a little bit. Do another breath in. Hold it up at the top and then just release it. Ooh, Sage is getting pretty loud here. All right, last one together. Hold it up at the top. Then just let it out. Feel all of the things that you don't need, just leave. Everything that you don't. I don't even remember what it was. I was talking about something, right? I don't need it. It's gone. And Sage is still going. Can you hear that? My favorite. My favorite, Sage. Thank you. Thank you, Sage. All right. So, I apologize for the late start. I got to plug my book a little bit, so I hope you guys are checking it out. But my guest tonight has a book out that she's promoting, so I'm excited to hold some space, meet her, get to find out who she is, and of course, take a look at her new book. So welcome to Holding Space. My guest, Susan Grayson. How you doing, Susan?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. And I'll tell you, I'm not a very techie person, so I kind of got lost in the shuffle, and I apologize for running late.
No apologies necessary. I'm just glad you made it. I was
Yeah.
telling people, I don't know, maybe we'll have to reschedule, but I started the show in hopes that you would just show up, and
Well,
you
you know
did.
what I
So,
did? I forgot to push the magic button. The magic
oh,
button says into the studio. I'm
you know
sitting
what?
there
It's so
waiting and
funny.
waiting.
Don't feel bad. A lot of people get stuck at that same point. They think, okay, I'm here. What's supposed to happen? And they just wait.
But
And
they don't realize you have to scroll down where it says
Right.
into
It
the
says
studio.
enter the studio. Enter the studio. Yep, yep,
Okay.
yep. Awesome. What's up, Brian? I see Brian out there. I see Bernadette. I see Jennifer McCormack. Wow, lots of people showing up. Uh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you guys. So, Susan, welcome to Holding Space. It's good
Thank
to
you
see
for having
you.
me, Michael.
Yeah, my pleasure. Kelly is amazing. I trust her so much. She
She's
always sends me
incredible. She's incredible. I agree totally.
amazing people to have conversations with. And what was kind of cool, what I was talking about before you got on, is I saw on social media today a photo of you holding your book, and it's just so interesting. I think it's because we're all kind of spiritual and into the cosmos that we use this like galaxy imagery. My book is kind of very similar looking to yours. It's got like the purple and the black and the it just reminded me of it, the stars, everything.
Same
So
way. Give me
yeah,
the
so
purple, give me the blue, give me the, yeah, I just love it.
yeah, I think we're just connected to the universe, right? That's it. So Susan, before we get to the book, I saw on your website, oh, and I had it open and now I closed it because I was doing some stuff. I saw that you were Reiki master, psychic medium, and it's interesting because it's only been in the last couple of years that I've seen that connection, right? My wife is a Reiki master, and
Oh, cool,
she
cool.
also gets messages, and when she explained to me how that works, it was like, oh yeah, of course it makes sense, because I believe personally that Reiki and astrology and anything that has to do with energy, it's
Mhm.
all related. It's all the same thing.
Because
Um,
everything is energy. You're
because
right.
everything is energy. So it just made sense. I just had never made that connection before. But it also says something, and I'm going to be learning something new right now. It says you are a certified graphoanalyst.
Yes, yes. Do you know what that is?
What is a graphoanalyst? I don't think I've heard that word.
Graphoanalyst is a person that analyzes handwriting. I mean, I could go to court and say,
Oh,
this is genuine or this isn't, this is forged. But basically,
wow.
you can tell so much about your character, about your personality through your handwriting, because that's how we express ourselves when we write. The way we form our letters, the way we cross our T's and dot our I.
Interesting.
It's all,
Wow, you just opened a whole new like channel in my brain of thought about how that is an expression of frequency, the
yeah,
way that you write. It's because again, I believe everything is that, but sometimes I just don't put it together, and now you just made that connection. Wow, that's really interesting. And graphoanalyst, now that you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, I should have figured out what that
I
word meant.
studied it. I studied it when I was getting out of high school, and
Mhm.
it there's a place that certifies you in Chicago, Illinois, and believe it or not, it's still there. It's been this for many, many.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
but
And
it's
and what
fascinating.
and what got you into that?
I don't know. I've always been interested in all this stuff, but one thing I could never get into was the astrology. It was just so complicated.
Hmm.
Astrology and palmistry. I've been doing psychic fears for 100 years, and
Hmm.
everybody says, "Oh, do the palmistry." Well, I'd start reading it, I'd start studying it, and then I'd fall
Hmm.
asleep. So it doesn't pay.
And you know what? That's total. I mean, again, even though I do feel like they're related, right?
Uh huh.
I definitely feel like astrology and palmistry. Now that you mention it, those are more like, um, what's the word?
A
Like,
little more technical. It's more like, come
yeah,
on.
technical. There's a word for it, like schooling. It's more scholar. There's more like studying to be done of like very specific things, whereas psychic mediumship is more feeling, right? You're like,
Yeah,
you
and
know, you
you
don't,
have to be good in math.
right.
Math was never my forte.
Right, right. To put someone's chart together, right? Their birth chart. I mean, that is pretty complicated. I never thought of it that way, but you're right. Wow, very interesting.
Where were you originally from?
I've actually always been in New York. I live in Long Island, and on Long Island, and I've always been here. Um, but normally, depending on where you ask me that question, I might say Orion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. You're an old soul, old soul.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
almost
I
neighbors because
think.
I'm originally from Boston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. East Coast. Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, I've always been connected to the constellation Orion when I see it,
Mhm.
in the night sky, and I remember there was a period in my life where it was just like I felt like it was following me around, um, and I just always relate to it. So sometimes, yes, I feel like that might be where I'm from.
Makes
um,
makes sense.
so okay, so tell me a little bit about psychic mediumship. Okay, the graphoanalyst. I get that. What is your relationship with mediumship? Is it something that you
Okay, so
knew from a young age, or?
back in the 80s when my kids were real tiny, um, I, s- I started doing the tarot cards. And I would notice sometimes I would get messages. So, like, mediumship is really connecting to the other side and receiving
Hmm.
messages from spirit.
Hmm.
And being a medium, basically, you connect with somebody's spirit and give them messages. Spirit
Hmm.
always has a message for the recipient.
Hmm. 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 And that just came through doing tarot.
It started with that, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I
Hmm.
just found the more
Interesting.
I did it, because when I did the tarot, I started, I would say like a prayer to the other side.
Okay.
I would open myself up to my guides, my angels, my loved ones,
Hmm.
everybody on
Hmm.
the other
Hmm.
side.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
whatever messages I got, I would go with that, even if it didn't make sense to me. It would make
Hmm.
sense to the
Hmm.
person
Hmm.
I was doing a reading for.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and that what you're telling me now just totally makes sense to me because you were kind of initiating your tarot session with
Right.
almost like an invocation, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
The thing is,
awesome.
like with mediumship, you got to remove your ego. It's not about
Hmm.
you. It's not about your ego. You're
Hmm.
delivering messages from the other side to help, because what mediumship is, it's letting people know that we never truly die, that
Hmm.
we go on, and
Hmm.
what happens is, when you deliver a message to a person from their loved one on the other side, it's like a healing,
Oh
because
yeah.
people grieve, people that go through a hard time, healing, when they lose somebody.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
through mediumship, you help heal them. You help them realize, that loved one is always around you.
Yeah. Oh,
Never-
absolutely.
They're just in
Absolutely. Yeah.
spirit. Yeah.
And you know what? That's how I got into this, like doing a show, the live stream of consciousness, holding space is I found myself all of a sudden in this spiritual community, making friends with a bunch of people who were very gifted metaphysically in all different ways. Christopher Allen is a psychic medium here on Long Island who was one of my good friends who I started working with, and I started to produce a show for him at a studio. We were doing live group readings and live on Facebook, and like he wanted to do it live. He didn't want any editing.
Hmm.
And for me, I guess just as an empath, I'm not a psychic medium. I don't practice it. I know we all have the
But
gifts.
we're all probably
Oh,
psychic.
I know that we all are, and I
Yeah.
certainly have had my moments and experiences that have shown me that. But it's not something I practice. But being an empath, I like watching a psychic medium deliver a message to a sitter and just seeing that energy exchange, right? Seeing the emotion that happens. Like you can see the emotion, you can feel the emotion. It's very visceral as an empath. You experience that, right? So I kind of grew very fond of being around it, which is really interesting because again, I don't need to go to a psychic, right? And find out something about myself. I'm not interested in that, but that doesn't mean that I don't see the value of it, right? Of these
Well,
messages and of
you have to look at it this way. A psychic basically is reading your aura. They can
hmm
tell you what's going on in your life. They can help give you direction or
hmm
counseling
hmm
if you're not sure. Like, oh, I feel like I need to move somewhere. Should I go to the East
hmm
Coast or West Coast? They can help you with that
hmm
decision. But a medium deals completely different. They're dealing with the spirit on the other side and
hmm
helping heal the recipient. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But again, as we said before, it's all energy. It's just a
Mhm.
different,
All
it's
in.
just tapping into a different frequency of the energy, to give a message to somebody else or to read somebody's aura. Those are just different kind of levels, I think, of being sensitive to that. That's beautiful. That's awesome. So, okay, so you were doing tarot, you started getting messages, and I guess that just kind of pushed you down the path,
I
and
couldn't get enough of it.
you couldn't get enough of it.
I had this insatiable desire to do more and more and learn and
Hmm.
learn,
Hmm.
goes
Hmm.
on and on.
Yeah, interesting too. One of the things I noticed too, working with my friend Chris, is watching him sometimes get emotional during the readings, right? And like one day I said to him, I'm like, wow, so you're healing too. Like as you're delivering the healing, you're also receiving healing. And he said, absolutely. And I just thought that was amazing. And it's like, even I think even if you don't know that you need healing, healing is something that's just going to help you heal. Even if you don't need it, it's going to help you heal.
And it's like you give out good, you give out love, it comes back to you. It doesn't always come back from the place you give it to, but it comes back always.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I love that. Okay, so and then ordained minister, how does that come into the picture? Is that
Oh, yeah, I can perform weddings and stuff like that, and
mhm, mhm.
funerals, and christenings and all that. Yeah.
Nice. And then, of course, a certified medium and spiritual advisor. The thing that I like about it, and you may or may not, but is like that you've been doing it for over 40 years, right? Because I feel
Yeah, I won't
like
tell you my age. It's
I
probably
feel
more like 50 years now.
I I'm just reading from your website, but what I like about that is there's like this level of authenticity to it, right? Because 40 years ago, it was not necessarily a
Yeah.
common thing. People weren't necessarily interested. People might think you're a little kooky. And
You
now
know
people
what?
are much,
We didn't have social media back then.
right.
And now everything is exposed, which is great. You can keep
Yeah,
learning, and you see the way other mediums work, and you can decide, well, this is how I do it, because everybody's unique, everybody's talented, everybody's gifted. They just have to find what works for them.
absolutely. Absolutely. And somebody's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Tim. It's Tim's birthday. Happy birthday. Nice. I did not know that. Very cool. Yeah, and again, I feel like we're in a moment in mankind in human history where there is an awakening happening, right? There is more perception is changing. People's level of perception, people are starting to perceive non-physical entities and realms
Yeah,
and
and there's
energy.
so much more than just this material world.
There's so
So
much
much
more than just this
more to
material
learn,
world.
and to experience, and we're evolved beings. We're just finding ourselves now after all these centuries,
Yeah.
and realizing, all the bad stuff that's been going on for centuries and centuries, and
Yeah.
that now it's time to fix it and
Yeah.
make things better.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was listening to a conversation today that was just talking about how we kind of got stuck in the physical world, the physical realm, when there is, you talk about talking to spirit and all of these other things, but that's a non-physical realm where energy exists and can communicate with us, right? And I mean, I think that's super interesting, and I think it makes me very excited for the moment that we're at. Where we're going to find out abilities that we never had. I mean, it's kind of a little silly, but not right when I talk about like people levitating all around, teleporting, telekinesis, moving objects around with their mind. I think
And that's
that's
been going on for a long time.
it has, but I mean, imagine that was common and not odd,
Right.
right? Like that
Right.
was the way that we
Everyday
functioned.
thing. Yeah.
Everything would be different. And even with movies like Disclosure Day out, and a lot of talk about UFOs and aliens, and I've been hearing so much about alien technology and how aliens don't steer their ships, they control them with their mind.
But don't you think that's the way it was done way a long time ago? We look at Atlantis and all that, or
Yeah,
even
oh, of course.
look at the pyramids. I really believe they just moved those blocks with their mind. They didn't have all that equipment and stuff. They didn't have
I've never
that.
heard somebody say that, but you know what? That makes a lot of sense, right? Like if
Yeah.
if we were at a point where we knew those gifts that we had, the pyramids would be an easy feat where, when we don't remember that we have those gifts, it seems like such an impossible feat.
But I think like when we're talking about like Atlantis or Lemuria, I mean they were very, very advanced people, but they destroyed their culture and their civilization by controlling the weather and everything. They got too powerful.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Oh, Michelle, I love what you're saying here. Michelle is saying maybe our bodies are ships that we control with our minds. And that's just a great way to put it, right?
Yeah.
And again, right now, I think the biggest thing for me is I'm super excited about doing all of this exploring into consciousness and what is this and what is that. And then sometimes I'm like, do I really want to find out that I don't exist physically? Like all of a sudden, am I just gonna poof out of
It's all an
existence?
illusion.
Right? But I love the idea of infinite possibilities, and Miss Shelley, what you're saying here, like that's just another way to perceive what's going on. And I love that. I totally love what you're saying there.
I really believe that, eventually we're going to be able to travel anywhere in the world,
Hmm.
just with
Hmm.
our minds and just be there. And
Sure.
I really feel like, Cryon and different people, they've all talked about, how we're going to heal our bodies. And some
Hmm.
talk about, like Franco Romero talks about, it's going to happen even as soon as 2032.
Hmm.
You just go
Hmm.
into a building, you sit in front of a computer, and you
Hmm.
just tug away and
Hmm.
you're healed.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, why not? They have medical beds.
So you know what? I just heard a crazy story today, actually, on my drive home. Wow. Interesting that you're saying that because it just brought all of these visuals to my mind. So there's a thing called Midjourney. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Midjourney is it's a popular generative AI program that's out there that creates really nice images. Some people might argue that they're not really nice. Some people really don't like AI, but Midjourney is a company that did that. But they just announced a division called Midjourney Medical, and they have this new technology that has nothing to do with AI. It's similar to an MRI, except it takes 60 seconds. And what they do is you stand on a platform and it lowers you into this liquid. And then there are all these sensors around, like vibrating or doing whatever they're doing, and it gets you what an MRI would get you as far as like images of your body and whatever's going on. In 60 seconds, you just go down into the water, you come back up, and it's like so science fiction sounding, but like so futuristic. And like I feel like part of what you're talking about of this evolution, of humanity and these powers, part of that is I think technological. I think that technology is something that we created as a race, as mankind, but I think that it's a part of our evolution as well.
I
And
agree.
again, this is just my thoughts. There's a lot of crazy things, but
I think
I.
what's happening, Michael, people are realizing how powerful they really are, how their
Mhm.
mind is, it's out there. It's just that we were brought up, we were controlled by schools,
Mhm.
churches, parents. We
Mhm.
were, we weren't allowed to think for ourselves. We're just,
Mhm.
we were just products of, everybody has to be the same and do the same thing. And all of a sudden now we're finding ourselves and we're realizing we're so much more than what we appear.
Absolutely. And that's what's so exciting about this moment, right? Is because you as a psychic medium have probably experienced more than I have, but I have experienced moments of like, oh my God, I just touched another realm, you know what I mean? Or something like that through meditation or even just at
You
a
were
stoplight.
visiting Orion.
I was visiting Orion, right? I've even had experiences at a stoplight, right, where just it's just because it's all here. It's all in your thoughts. It's all imagination. That's where it all is. And if you can let yourself go like inside for a second, you can totally travel somewhere and be somewhere else. And that's what I think we're talking
And
about. And
yeah, and I think you're right. It's all about opening our mind to other possibilities, to other ways of thinking, other
mhm,
ways of doing things.
mhm, mhm.
Instead of just following, the
Right.
usual plan.
Yep. Yep.
Be yourself. Find out who you are. Hey, Karen. Love you, Karen.
Totally, totally. And again, I feel like that's where we are. I feel like a lot of people are finally realizing, like, I don't have to answer to this system that I've been, brought into. I can create my own system. You know what I mean? I can be my own system, and I
Yeah.
think that that's where we're at, and it's just so exciting to,
If you
uh,
could, if you can visualize it, why can't you have it?
totally. Totally. Agreed. Agreed. And that being said, and in combination with what I said about it all happens in here, I also personally believe that anything that happens in here, anything that I've ever imagined, anything that anybody's ever imagined, written down in a book, that exists somewhere just because that it was thought of.
Hmm.
The fact that it was thought of means it exists to me, and I think that's awesome. And so that's why I love things on the Sacred Spiral Network, like Enchanted Realms, the show where they talk about the fairy realms and the dragon realms and all of these other realms. Where, again, 10 years ago, people would be like, "You guys are nuts." but these days people are like, "Oh, wait, that sounds
Yeah, why
interesting.
not?
Tell me
Right.
a little bit more. Like, why not? Why could that not be,
Right.
what's up, Tupa Pierre? Tupa Pierre.
It's just like, in dreams we travel, sometimes we fly, and then, at one time we probably flew, and we just got so enmeshed in the physical world that we forgot about all that good stuff.
Totally agreed. Who here has not, who's listening, that has never had that dream where you're flying, or you can fly, or you just lean forward and then suddenly you're floating, or maybe you find yourself at the top of a staircase and you float down the staircase. I think we've all had those dreams, and I do think that there's a reason that we've all had those dreams. I think those are not dreams. I think those are memories.
Yeah.
Um,
Or
yeah,
even transporting to a different place in your dreams, out of body experiences. There's so much
exactly.
more than this physical thing that we do every day.
Exactly. The opening of the live stream, my other show, the theme song says, "Is this a dream or is the dream reality?" Like, you know what I mean? And that's it. So, I just saw an interesting question. I don't know anything about this. Maybe you do. What do you think about the ET abduction that's supposed to happen tomorrow in Miami? Do you know anything about that?
No, I didn't know
I
about
don't
that.
I don't know anything about it. You're gonna have to elaborate on that, but I don't know what's going on with that. I do. Did you have you seen the movie Disclosure Day?
No, I'll have
Yeah,
to see it.
you'll have to see it. Okay, so then I won't talk about it because I have some thoughts about it. Um, and it's cool. I'm excited. I'm excited that there are movies out there that are
Yeah,
happening and stimulating the conversation.
yeah, it
Uh,
forces you to open your mind and look at things from a different point of view. Anything's
ab- abs-
possible.
Absolutely, and to kind of address what Tupa Pierre, Tupa, I'm trying to read that, Tupapiar, Tupa Pierre. Okay, Tupa. I'm going to call you Tupa. But Tupa, I've been paying attention, right, to all the things that are out there, social media, and Elizabeth April and Bashar and all of these different people, and I don't
I like your voice.
I don't pray to any of them, but I listen and I hear what they say. And Elizabeth April was just saying something about the World Cup, and that it's an opportunity where everybody's watching. So I'm not going to say what she said is or isn't going to happen, but I'm going to say that she's right. It
I
is an
mean, how do you
opportunity.
know that your neighbors aren't aliens? You don't know.
We don't know that. We don't know that, and that's a part of the conversation that I want to have about disclosure, right? So, like, for me, disclosure isn't
I'm
going to
going to
be
have to see
like,
that tomorrow.
but disclosure. Let's not talk about the movie, but the idea of disclosure to me isn't like, okay, look at that thing in the sky. It's real. We're telling you it's real. Disclosure is more about um us.
Mhm.
Disclosure is more about they've been here for a long time, and like you just said, some of your friends might be aliens. What if, like, I feel like again, just a scenario, guys. This is just a scenario, not anything, right? But what if all of a sudden, and some people have said this, they say, yes, aliens are among us. As a matter of fact, Elon Musk is an alien, right? And some people love Elon, some people don't like Elon, right? But the people who do like him will be like, oh my God, aliens are good, right? Like they live among us. They're here to do good for us. They're here to help us.
But Hollywood is drama, so they have to put this evil stuff in there, and
Right.
and I feel like there's probably been quite a few times in history that we've come close to blowing ourselves up, but they've stopped us because it's not meant to be.
Right. And I've been hearing a lot of those stories too, the nuclear warheads that shut down and different things like that. So I agree with you, Susan. I believe that, and I'm not going to say aliens, right? I believe that galactic energy is benevolent. I believe that
I do too.
the universe is benevolent. I believe that certainly malevolency malevolency, I don't know the right word, certainly that exists, but more so in the physical realm, duality, right? I feel like when once you get into a non-physical realm, benevolent, malevolent are the same.
But
They're
it's like we talked about before, energy. If
Mhm.
you if you have negative energy, you're going to attract more negative energy. But if you have positive, good energy, loving energy, that's what you're going to attract. So wouldn't you
Yeah,
rather have a world full of love and full of hope and helping each other? We're all here to
totally.
help each other.
Totally. And Michelle, I think I got to have Michelle on the show because she's saying some fun stuff here. She says, "How many aliens on Earth don't know they're alien?" That's brilliant.
I think we're all aliens. I mean, we have been around forever.
Mhm.
Who's to say what planets we've been from? Probably several.
Probably
No,
several.
we haven't
Yeah.
always lived on Earth.
What's that?
I don't believe we've always lived on Earth. We've lived in other
Oh,
planets.
no, no, absolutely, absolutely. And again, we're talking about things from such a physical perspective, right? Like how can we even talk about other existences in other realms when we don't even, we can't even explain that or express that in human language, right? I'm just grateful that I can contemplate it even just a little bit and be like, "Oh my God, it's there," because I feel connected to it, whatever it is, right? I feel connected to it and it makes sense to me. And I guess if that's what works for me, that's what works for me. And again, I also understand that it doesn't work the same for everybody. So I don't expect everybody to subscribe to the same beliefs that I believe.
Because I've done readings for people and actually saw them being yeah, abducted as a child.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when I've
Hmm.
done past life regressions with people, because I'm also a hypnotherapist, they have gone back and talked about other lifetimes. And
Hmm.
some even had lifetimes like I was a tree because I had to experience being a tree and the wind and the feeling.
Hmm.
It's crazy, but why not?
Exactly. It makes so much sense to me. It really does.
We are very multifaceted, incredible beings.
Totally. Totally. And I do want to address this comment to Papier is coming back and saying what he said and related to what I had said I had heard. A viral prediction from Brazilian mystic Vo Bahiana warns that extraterrestrials will stage an alien invasion and mass abduction during Brazil versus Scotland in the World Cup match. Right? Again, just a perfect opportunity for something to
Hmm.
happen. So now let's bring this. Since we're all over the place and since this is all wacky, I want to talk about something that I heard regarding aliens, right? And regarding what you just said, abductions. So, the theory that I heard, and this kind of makes sense to me because I do believe that galactic presence is benevolent,
Hmm.
that abductions are military operations disguised as galactic and experimentation and things happen, which is why they're usually traumatic, whereas contactees have positive experiences, and those are authentic galactic experiences where you are, communicating with a galactic, not necessarily being brought onto a ship, but
Mhm.
maybe it's a telepathic thing or just an experience. What do you think about that?
I think it's possible, and just like implants and everything,
Hmm. Hmm.
I know people, and all of a sudden they wake up one morning and they've had a weird dream or something, and they wake up in the
Hmm.
morning and they have a mark on their body.
Hmm. Hmm.
Something's been implanted.
Hmm. Hmm.
Who's to say, we're not that advanced.
Agreed, and that's what's so exciting, right? Is like we're about to find it out, and I think
Yeah.
new technologies will be, revealed. I do believe that, and again, I don't like love talking this way, but like I do believe the government has
Oh, they
things we
know so
don't,
much more. And
things we don't know about, you know what I mean? And there is a shadow aspect of the government, which is, not looking out for our best interests. I certainly believe that, but I do also believe that they have no chance. We're much more powerful.
oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? We're just much more powerful. There's, like, this only ends one way. And like I said, if I believe, and this is just my belief, that the universe is love, right? And what I said, benevolence and malevolence, it all becomes one thing, which I think is expressed as love. It's like that's what helps me get through each day, without worrying like, oh my God, what's gonna happen?
And there's so many people, Michael. There's so many beings on the other side. Whether we're talking about angels or loved ones or
Hmm.
spirit guides and everything. They're there for you. They'll help you. All you gotta do
Hmm.
is ask for the help. But
Hmm.
people don't.
Hmm.
They just think, oh, if I, maybe the angels will take over and fix my life. Well, you have to ask for this help, but there's also things that we have to learn. We chose to come here, and we chose to have these experiences. We chose to meet certain people for our own growth.
Yep. 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 What's up, Lynn? Good to see you.
This is what's so exciting. We're here to experience, to grow, to learn, and to be with our loved ones.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And I think the cool thing is, and for me, I know that I've gotten to a point where if something's happening, I'm in a situation that's bad. I've injured myself. My tire blows out. There's a
There's a
reason.
reason.
There's a reason, and I always am able to
Something you're
smile.
supposed to learn,
I'm
Michael.
always able to smile and be like, I'm gonna get through this, and not only am I gonna get through this, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna know at the other side, you know what I mean, that
And
I got through it.
sometimes we wonder, why is this happening to me? Well, you
Right.
have to stop and think, what is the lesson here? What have I not learned, or what am I learning?
Yeah.
And once you've learned it, you don't have to experience things like that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all part of
Exactly.
your growth.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So I'm loving this conversation, and I feel like
Me
I
too.
feel like I can ask you for some advice.
Sure.
And that is, I'm a human, and I definitely get to a point, and I have my moments where somebody does something or says something, and I react, and I don't react right away and be like blah 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 blah, but I feel it, and like either I'm triggered or something, and I feel judgment, right, towards that other person, and then I feel judgment of that judgment. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to be judging that person. I feel like they're a jerk, right? But I don't want to feel like they're a jerk.
But a lot of times they come down on you, but it's not really about you, it's about them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Everybody you meet in this lifetime is here to teach you something.
Hmm.
And it's not really about them. They are teaching you something about yourself, something you
Hmm.
like about them or you don't like,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
what they're teaching you. But
Right.
it's all about you. It's all learning, and it's all
I
energy.
love that. I love what you're saying because it's like a paradigm, not a paradigm. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, oh, I don't like that person, but I'm supposed to learn something about myself, and it's like
And you got to
the
figure, what is it I don't like about them? Is
right, and
it
then you got to
something
be
about
like,
me and
it's okay.
myself, something I don't want to be like, or I don't want to be like that person.
right, whatever it is, and then you're like,
It's a mirror.
it's
It's like,
okay. And right, it's a mirror. It's a mirror. That's it. And I love that part of life because it goes other ways too, right? When you see somebody that you admire and you're like, "Oh my God, that person is so amazing." That person is a reflection of you as well.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
You
And
could
I
be
think
just like that if you want to be.
exactly, totally, totally. And I think for me that has definitely been part of my growing older is taking more control of my energy and how I treat people and how I talk to people.
I
And
think you and I should write a book together about all this.
I would love it. That would be so cool. You know what? And it's funny because here I am saying it and I feel like it's so simple, right? It's just like, how could you think anything else? But I do feel like people need to hear it. I feel like when somebody says it out loud, people, a light goes off and people are like, oh my God, like that's it. I just got to be nice and everything nice will come back to me. You know what I mean? Like
True,
that's
it
it.
does. It all comes back to you.
Totally. And we do have a question for you
Okay.
which is what are the benefits of past regression? I'm imagining past life regression.
Okay, so say you have a fear of water, okay? And for some reason you never feel comfortable on a boat, you never feel comfortable near water. Through past, even in my book, I have a book, my
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about it. Yeah.
Love Your Spiritual Gifts. And in this book I have, like, for the 40 years I taught classes, these are all the different classes I taught. Past, and one of the sections is about past life regression.
Mhm.
So if you want to find out, well, why do I feel this way? Like, why am I afraid of water? And you go through, you read the book, and you just you say all the script on
Mhm.
a tape recorder or a
Mhm.
phone,
Mhm.
and then you think about what it is you want to know, and then close your eyes and just listen to all the script that you've already spoken in your phone, and you'll find the answer. And once you find that answer, you don't have that fear anymore.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's like, you know how our bodies all have like little birthmarks and stuff.
Mhm. Mhm.
Those are usually places where in a lifetime you've been shot, or you got an arrow there, or you
Interesting.
died some way. And but once you find the answers of why you have this fear, or why you have these nightmares, why you're so troubled, you have your answer, and you don't
It's
have
like
to fear
healing. Yeah.
anymore. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great answer to that question. Great question and great answer. Thank you, Tupa, for that question. And thank you, Susan, for that
So
answer.
that's the benefit: knowing and understanding and healing yourself, and then you can move on in your life. You don't
Mhm.
have to have anything hold you back like that.
Yeah, I
And
it's amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
it's
No, it's
like, okay, this is a good one, Michael. So say you meet somebody for the first time, and you think, oh, I really like them. I just resonate to them. They make me feel good.
mhm.
And then you meet somebody and you think, oh my God, let me get away from them as fast as I can. Let me run away. And then you meet other people every day. You go to the store, you see the cashier, you say hi
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
everything, and
Mhm.
you have no feeling at all. But
Mhm.
those people that make you feel so good, make you feel love, or those people that make you terrified,
Mhm.
those are all people you've known in past lives.
Mhm.
That's why you
Mhm.
have these feelings.
Mhm. 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 That
And
makes sense.
yeah,
Totally. I
so
agree with that. That totally makes sense. And again, yeah, I think that we all, whether we know it or not, we're all giving off a vibe. They call it a vibe. We're all giving off an energy.
haven't you
Um,
ever had dreams where you were another person in a lifetime?
mhm. Mhm.
And it's amazing. And it's just like, when I went to New York City one time, we took the ferry out to Staten Island to see the Statue of
Yeah.
Liberty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was so weird. We were like halfway there, and I started bawling my eyes out. I could remember being from Ireland during the potato famine, and then seeing the Statue of Liberty.
Oh my God.
Right?
Wow.
Emotional experience. Haven't you ever had like a deja vu where you felt like you knew something was going to be there, or or you felt emotion?
You know what? I think I've definitely had moments where I've suddenly like overcome with emotion, but I don't think I ever made a connection like that with that emotion. Like, oh my God, I'm sensing this, this
Maybe
past
next
memory thing.
time that happens, you should just kind of close your eyes and
Yeah, yeah,
just a minute and say, "Why do
definitely.
I feel this way? What is the feeling here? What is the memory?"
Yeah,
You might
absolutely.
recall it.
Yeah,
Or
amazing,
before
amazing.
you go to bed, talk to your angels and say, I had this feeling today. Help me find out why. And keep thinking about this and keep talking to your angels or your loved ones, whatever. And you
Hmm.
may have another dream. Or you may wake up with one of these aha moments. You'll know exactly what it is.
Hmm. Yep, yep. Amazing. Arnie says, "Yep, he had a dream with 1800s boat with two kids. He saw himself, but it was not the current himself."
Yep.
So that's, you got to kind of
And
figure that out,
sometimes you can be a male or female, because
right?
we've lived both.
And also relationships, like people have been sons and daughters who are now lovers and things like that. I mean, different kinds of relationships are also part of this process, I believe,
And
which is very
usually
cool.
with reincarnation, you want to come into a lifetime so you can be with this same person were with before, but
Hmm.
maybe there'll be a different, maybe instead of you being the mother, they'll be the child, and
Right.
or it'll be a change of position,
The relationship, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's fascinating, and again, I love thinking about it and having these conversations. Tupac saying, "Last question," and I'm curious as to why you would want to do this, but I guess I do understand the question. How do you bypass the reincarnation process and ascend faster or higher? What do you think about that question?
Mhm. See it all with love, with all love and learning, and realize that whatever we did before, it helped make us who we are today. All those experiences,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, yeah,
But you
yeah.
can, you don't have to hang on to the past either. Once you know it and understand it, you keep moving forward.
Right, right. Yeah, and I do feel like, you hear all these different theories about Earth is a prison planet and you reincarnated is reincarnation is a prison, but then you also hear things about Source split himself or itself into the all of these fractals to experience itself, and that being on Earth is like one of the most privileged of those, experiences that you can have because it is so diverse. It has so much emotion. It has that duality, right? Which doesn't exist. I mean, imagine if good and bad didn't exist. Like it would,
And
it
you have
would
the
seem,
physical body, these sensations and the emotions and everything that goes with it.
yeah.
It's
Yes.
kind of fun. If you just
Arnie's advice is to accomplish all your contracts you came here to do. That's a way to bypass coming back.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, if you don't learn, you're going to come back and redo it. Or if you build up a lot of karma or something, it's just,
And Miss Shelley, of course, with another freaking doozy. I love what you say, Miss Shelley. It's always right on the money. And I do this every morning. I'm like, life is an adventure. What's going to happen today? You know what I mean? Some days it's like, okay, I'm going in the office. I know some of the things that are going to happen, but I don't know everything that's going to happen, and I can decide to make something happen if I want. Like I could change,
and,
I could just, like mix it
and
up a
what,
little bit.
yeah, and what are you going to learn today?
What are you going to
And
learn
who are you
today?
going to meet?
Yes,
And can you spread that love? Can
exactly.
can you make that whole thing keep going?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
domino effect.
I love that. I actually learned today the word graphoanalyst, so I'm grateful I learned something new.
So you
Uh,
better pay attention to your writing. And if you don't like
yes,
it is,
yes.
if
That's
you don't
what.
like the way
And is
you're
that something
crossing
that
your
you
T, you better change it.
is that like something that you still do it? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like
it's
part of
very,
your.
it's, yeah, because I studied it for a couple of years. Yeah,
Hmm. But
yeah.
I mean, as part of like reading someone, do you analyze someone's handwriting if you're
Yeah, if
giving
I
them a
can get
reading?
there, if I can get a hold of their handwriting, I will.
Yeah, yeah. So that's more like a psychoanalyst analysis than a reading, really, right?
Yeah, there's, we express ourselves every day in different ways, the way we
Totally.
talk, the way we physically act,
Sure. Sure.
but
Well,
the
there's also a big crossover, I think, between therapy and spirituality, healing,
sure.
right? Healing is therapy is healing, and spirituality is healing. I think
Yeah,
they're both.
therapy, get help from another individual, a
Hmm.
counselor, or
Hmm.
whatever.
Sure.
Where in spirituality, you get help from the other side.
Right. But also another common thread is sometimes trauma, right, is coming from an experience that you had when you're young, and
Or,
that's in both
or past life,
spirituality or a
or
past life.
something you
Yeah,
brought
and
into this
that's
life.
both therapy and spirituality.
Right.
Amazing.
So the
Amazing.
main thing I think, Michael, is you have to just learn to love yourself
Hmm.
and love all. I mean,
Agreed.
like nobody's body's perfect. Maybe there's a few out there, but the way getting older and everything, I realize I have to appreciate and love what is working, and don't focus so much on what's not working
Totally.
so well.
Totally. I agree. And I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks because I think I saw an interview with Kevin Smith and he said, "You won't see me talking about movies that I hate and why this sucked or why that sucked because life is too short to talk about and think about the things that suck." Right?
Right.
Like, really, like why give that energy?
And I like watching movies that people are alive, like, that epic Elvis that just really excited me. And Michael, they have so much energy and they do what they love. And
Mm.
it's awesome. They're so talented.
Total great examples of just souls who just like did what they came here to do.
Right.
That's
And they
amazing.
did a lot of good too, regardless of
Sure.
what
Oh, yeah.
media
Well,
says.
and I think when you affect so many people, right? When so many people, look up to you. I mean, listen, there's things you could say about ego and this and that, but I think
There's
there
people that
is.
are going to love you and people that are not going to love
Yeah,
you.
yeah, and I think that you've given some examples of people who are more positively influencing other people, and bringing that experience to other people. Amazing. Susan, you are amazing to talk to. I can't even believe
Yeah, too.
we flew through an hour.
See, what
Uh,
you see in me, you have in yourself.
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and vice versa. I mean, I love this. That's why I do what I do, because I don't think I've ever had a guest come on my show who's like not in that frame of mind that they love themselves. They know that that's kind of the secret, one of the most basic ingredients
And
to living a happy life.
people fascinating. I
What's
mean,
that?
aren't people fascinating? They have different
I
personalities.
think
Thing.
what I love too is, and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now too, is like every one of us is so completely different. And even if you're working side by side with somebody, you're both having different your own experiences. You know what I mean? And you're both giving your own experiences
They're going
and
to affect you
you know
different. Hmm.
yeah, and so, it's just that just helps me be so much more tolerant and compassionate when I'm dealing with other people, just to be like more fascinated by what I'm interacting with than aggravated by it.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
You're pretty wonderful yourself.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'll have to have you back. We'll have
Thank
another
you. I like
conversation.
that.
Um, I,
This time I'll remember to hit the magic button.
You'll hit the magic button, and I guess what you're going to have to do is write another book,
Yeah. Well,
so
these are
that
my
I could
two books.
invite you back on and we could
This
promote
one,
that one.
and I
But
wrote The Mediums with a friend.
the mediums, oh, you
Yeah.
wrote that with a friend, and the
Yeah.
mediums. Tell us about the mediums. That's a
Well, the
guidebook. It
mediums,
says.
it teaches you how to do it yourself.
Awesome,
Teaches you all about mediumship and how to connect with the other side and connect with your loved ones all on your own.
awesome, awesome. So, if anybody watching has enjoyed this conversation and resonates with Susan or me, Susan's website is down at the bottom of the show, susangray.psychicmedium.com. And you could always reach out to me. My email is mrz1@aol.com. And I would love to hold space for anybody who wants space held for them. That's what it's all about, right? We're all walking each other home.
It's been a gift.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I have on my show on Thursday for you guys. I am super, super excited. I don't know if you have heard of this guy. His name is Segi. He has a podcast called The Paradigm Experience, but you may have seen him on social media. He asks these amazingly philosophical questions to ChatGPT and gives you the answers, and it's just so much fun. So I can't wait to talk to him and get some love from him. That's happening on Thursday, and I hope to see you guys. Thank you guys for showing up, man. It's always good to see everybody out there. Thank you, Susan, and we'll see you guys later. Yeah, I love that. I love you.
Thank you.
Peace.